New York George Lois, the hard-selling, charismatic advertising man and designer who fashioned some of the most daring magazine images of the 1960s and popularized such catchphrases and brand names as OC Pound I Want My MTV and OC Pound Lean Cuisine has died. He was 91. Lois' son, the photographer Luke Lois, said he died OC Pound peacefully Friday at his home in Manhattan. Nicknamed the OC Pound Golden Greek and later, to his displeasure, an OC Pound original Madman George Lois was among a wave of advertisers who launched the OC Pound creative revolution that jolted Madison Avenue and the world beyond in the late 1950s and OC60s. He was boastful and provocative, willing and able to offend, and was a master of finding just the right image or words to capture a moment or create a demand. His Esquire magazine covers, from Muhammad Ali posing as the martyr Saint Sebastian to Andy Warhol sinking in a sea of Cambalacos tomato soup, defined the hyper-spirit of the OC60s as much as Norman Rockwell OC's idealized drawings for the Saturday Evening Post summoned an earlier era. As an ad man, he devised breakthrough strategies for Xerox and Stauffer OCs and helped an emerging music video channel in the 1980s by suggesting ads featuring Mick Jagger and other rock stars demanding, with mock petulance, OC Pound I Want My MTV. Lois boiled it down to what he called the OC Pound big idea, crystallizing OC Pound the unique virtues of a product and searing it into Pipa EOC's minds. He was inducted into numerous advertising and visual arts halls of fame, and in 2008 his Esquire work was added to the permanent collection of the Museum of Modern Art. Martin Scorsese, Tina Brown, and Graydon Carter were among his admirers. His legacy was vast, although the actual dimensions are disputed. His claims to developing the 1960s OC Pound I Want My Mapo breakfast ads and to inspiring the creation of New York Magazine have been widely contradicted. Some former Esquire colleagues would allege that he exaggerated his role at the expense of other contributors, such as Carl Fisher, who photographed many of the Magazineco's famous covers. But his overpowering energy and confidence were well recorded. In her memoir OC Pound Basic Black, former USA Today publisher Kathy Black recalled bringing in Lois in the early 1980s to propose a new advertising approach for a publication that struggled at first over how to identify itself. Lois' idea was to champion USA Today OC's dual appeal as a newspaper and magazine, proposing the slogan, OC Pound a lot of people are saying USA Today is neither fish nor fowl. The Accor right, before a gathering of the publications, including founder Al Newharth, Lois gave an Oscar-worthy performance. Black wrote, OC Pound bounding in like a 6'3" teenager hopped up on Red Bull. OC Pound he flung his jacket to the floor, tore off his tie, then flashed one prototype ad after another, prancing around the room and keeping up a running monologue sprinkled with jokes and profanity. It was epic, almost scary. I was thrilled. When he was finished, the room sat absolutely silent. All eyes turned to Newharth, who sat OC Pound absolutely still, his expression hidden behind his dark aviator glasses. Newharth paused, removed his glasses and smiled. OC Pound Wekove got it, he said. Lois' longtime wife, Rosemary Lewandowski Lois, died in September. A son, Harry Joseph Lois, died in 1978. Lois, the son of Greek immigrants, was born in New York City in 1931 and would cite the racism of his Irish neighborhood for his drive OC Pound to awaken, to disturb, to protest. He liked to say that a successful advertiser absorbed as many influences as possible, and he prided himself on his knowledge of everything from sports to ballet. He was a compulsive drawer and for much of his life made weekly visits to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. He enrolled in Pratt Institute, soon met his future wife and eloped with her before either had graduated. After serving in the Army during the Korean War, he joined the Advertising and Promotion Department of CBS and in 1960 helped found the advertising agency Papered Koenig Lois. 2 years later he was recruited by Esquire editor Harold Hayes and remained until 1972, the same year Hayes left. Esquire was a prime venue for the so-called new journalism of the 1960s, non-fiction stories with a literary approach. and the magazine would publish such celebrated pieces as Gay Tale Sioco's portrait of Frank Sinatra and Tom Wolfe Sioco's O.C. The Last American Hero is Junior Johnson. Yes, but to read the words, you had to buy the magazine, and Lois covers launched countless conversations. For a cover story on O.C. The New American Woman, he featured a naked model folded into a garbage can. A notorious 1970 cover showed a grinning Lieutenant William Calley, the serviceman later found guilty of murdering unarmed civilians in the My Lai massacre, with his arms around a pair of Vietnamese children, 2 other kids behind him. In the mid-1970s, Lois was among the public figures who led efforts to free the boxer Reuben O.C. Hurricane Carter from prison. Carter Oko's conviction for murder was later overturned, and he was released in 1985. Lois also wrote several books and was featured in the 2014 documentary about Esquire, O.C. Smiling Through the Apocalypse. Interest in Lois was renewed through the popularity of the AMC series O.C. Mad Men, but he was not flattered, writing in his book O.C. Damn Good Advice that the show was O.C. nothing more than a soap opera set in a glamorous office where stylish fools hump their appreciative, coiffured secretaries, suck up martinis, and smoke themselves to death as they produce dumb, lifeless advertising. O.C. Besides, he added, O.C. when I was in my 30s I was better looking than Don Draper.